Warning, the following podcast has extremely high levels of kennybolin. Studies have shown that excessive exposure to kennybolin may have damaging effects to your physical and mental well-being. Viewer discretion is advised. No, seriously, we mean it. There will be naughty words, lots of them, probably. Now you've been warned. This warning sponsored by the Story Time with Dutch Mantel.
Well, that was the voice of Mr. John Cena Sr., who is going to be a guest on this show here again in the very near future. Probably late January to early February, we'll be having Mr. Cena Sr. back on. Going to be having Disco Inferno back on. Those will more than likely be members-only shows. So if you don't have a membership, it'd be a good time to get one, because I doubt you'll be able to get one the day of the show. I think we've come up with a way to prevent that from happening, just to have people picking and choosing the days they want to support the show for $3 measly. I will be by myself tonight. Coltrane is still on assignment, I guess we will say. Mr. Coltrane's on assignment. Bob is having Nerd Night. We're always prepared for Bob to have Nerd Night, because you never know when those nights are going to be. They seem to be various nights. I thought that Thursday nights were Nerd Night. Now, apparently Tuesday night's Nerd Night. I'm sure some Wednesdays are Nerd Night, because in Bob's house, every night is Nerd Night. I've even tried to nerd up with Bob a little bit, not in the video game aspect or Chinese checkers, but from watching Star Wars. And Bob encouraged me to finish watching Rogue One. And it was actually pretty good. There's a character in there that reminded me a lot of Shinsuke Nakamura. So that was why I watched that. And we're not going to be here long, because we got under 20 of you. And the only one that's commented is Miss Jambi, who we've spent a good deal of money to get her a nice mattress for her and her son to keep them from sleeping on the floor. Hi, Scooby. Did you want to say hi to everybody? There you go. Oh, you're on this side where everybody can see you good. This is Lord Scooby the First. He big dog. And he loves to do the shows. He just got to get over here and check things out. And, oh, by the way, this is the Noon Report. It's noon somewhere. And if there's anybody out there who can tell me where it's 12 noon right now in the specific city and country, there is a bonus prize for you. There's a bonus prize. If you can tell me, and so far, Jambi's the only one who's spoken, there is a bonus prize. If you can tell me, without Googling, you're going to Google because you don't know, where is it 12 noon right now? Because this is the Noon Report. So shout out to those in your specific area. And I'll give you a bit of a hint. I can assure you there's not one person in that country that can get this show. Now, that might be a few countries, but that narrows it down. Well, Jambi has spoken twice, and the rest of you are muted or have tongue-tied, or are very tongue-tied. All we're going to mention about this is that we still have 4 people out there who have made large pledges that did not honor them as of yet. I'm not going to mention any names. You know who you are. One of you contacted me today, said you will make good next month. Okay, well, let's hope that happens. And the other of you we haven't heard from at all. And Jambi has now mentioned 3 times, and no one else has said a word. So we'll be here for 20 more minutes at this rate, or once we make the first $60 in donations. To help these folks. Jambi needed a mattress very bad. She's been sleeping on a wooden floor, and didn't want her sleeping on a wooden floor for another 3 or 4 days while we waited to do these shows. We're in the frozen north here in Louisville. It's been very, I've left the house one time, had to pay somebody to dig me out so I could go to a doctor's appointment. I have been approved for my upcoming surgery that will be happening more than likely in early to mid-February would be my guess. And everybody said, well, everybody thinks if they speak, they have to make a donation. Boy, that would be a fucking shame, wouldn't it? So, and a big shout out to my good friends at AT&T Fiber. who apparently watched the show, or at least some executives there have, because this is the only place you could have heard that song. That song, unless you watch season 1, episode 3 of Doom Patrol, you would not know what that song is. And I doubt that's how that happened. They got it watching the show because they heard that I was plugging AT&T fiber, and they probably noticed the crispness and the clearness of the show. Well, our Filipinos are speaking, it's just no one else is. How y'all doing? And so yeah, we spent roughly about $70. We talked the store manager down from $130 to get her a nice manager, to get her a nice discount on a full-size mattress for her and her son. And I sent pictures of it to some of you. It was money I didn't have right now, but we got that done. Also, shout out to my dear friend Carrie, who I worked with at Humana for 5 years. And now she works for the government, and she does a lot of good in my community, especially helping out the homeless. She's been to the Philippines several times. I think even owns a home there. And she heard that one of my families needed rice, and she said, well, let's step up. She says, let me match donations tonight. So she has said if we can raise $60, that she will match that 60 and take care of this particular family that needs rice, because it's going to take about $60, because they're a large family that lives in 2 separate homes, but they're connected and they're related, and they really need some help. I think I saw that Malay, however you pronounce her name, she had mentioned she needs help, but I don't know what she needs. I didn't get a chance to check out to see what her needs are. I just saw she needed some help, but I don't know if we can help her if we don't get any donations. If my friend Edge Copeland is watching the show, he had mentioned that he would match all $20 donations up to, I thought he said $200, but maybe he meant he wanted to buy a couple $100 worth of autographed pictures. I don't know. That's how I understood it, but I did clarify that he will match all donations of $20 or more if they ask a wrestling question. And we tried that the other night, but he fell asleep and wasn't here. So, but like I said, it does not look like we're going to be here long, because nobody other than Filipinos are speaking. And obviously the Filipinos don't donate because they're the ones that we're trying to raise money for. So, very strange that no badge members or nobody else has made a comment. That is pretty strange. So, let me check messages. Let me check donations, see if we have anything from anybody. Boy, we might be in desperate need of help from Good Chris if he's out there tonight, because he might be the only one that can help us tonight from what I'm seeing. We do have one donation. Now let's see here. Yeah, we have a $10 donation from Anonymous. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. And yeah, we have confirmation from Edge Copeland that he is matching all donations up to $100. That if you donate $20 or more, he will match that up to $100, and he has just confirmed that. So let's see what we can get done. We certainly appreciate that, Edge. Thank you for the message. But it's going to take someone else to donate and someone else to speak before we can do that. So this is a way, maybe even Good Chris, if he's out there, if Good Chris is watching and listening to the show tonight, whatever he can do towards that 100, it's a way to double your donation tonight. So if you're wanting to be of some help and help these folks out, like Malay and Jambi and Jeanette's family that's in need of rice very desperately. They're the ones that have the dog named Scooby. They got a couple of young ladies that are in college or have been, but they've all been sick. 3 of the 4 of them have been hospitalized with, oh God, it's some mosquito disease. I think they call it, I forgot. I'm not even going to try, but it starts with a D, Dumagente or something like that. I forgot it, but it is a mosquito bite disease. And 3 of the 4 of them have been in the hospital. There it is. There's I think Oh, man, something. I'm glad you spoke because I was wondering if badge members or any other members were able to speak. But no, Mr. Copeland there has agreed to match all donations up to $100 for every $20 donation. He will match that, and but we have to get to 100 for him to do that. And also, it will take somebody else speaking and or donating. So, but we'll give this a try until 9:30. Mr. Copeland might be off the hook. Now, Mr. Copeland, you had mentioned that you might be interested in an autographed WWE picture or two. No one's paying $100 for my picture. They pay way more than that. But if you know what autographs you're interested in, and when I have help on here, when Bob can do the raffle, maybe this coming Friday, we will raffle off another another WWE autograph. We raise $100, then we have a raffle, and then and these are autographs that most of you can't get. I mean, unless you just happen to show up, if they happen to be at a convention somewhere. A couple of the autographs I have, or well, actually several of them, these wrestlers are no longer with us. But I think most of those have been personalized. Somebody asked me if I had Randy Orton. I do, but Randy personalized his to me to King B. So unless your name's King B, you might not be as enthused to have that. This might be a record. But I got you, man. I appreciate it. And thank you for the $100 challenge. It's just that no one has honored to even donate the first $20 yet. So, maybe Mr. Limley's out there. Some of our regulars. Let's see here. Hang on here. We might have something in the right direction. Let me look. Well, I thought I saw a donation come through, and then I look in my messages and I don't see it. So let me look a couple other places. Let's go to the Venmo, see what's over there. Nothing in Venmo. Let's go to Cash App. Well, that's the wrong code, so let's enter the right code. Maybe that'll work. Nope, nothing there. Hang on here. I'm looking. Well, let's go to PayPal then, because, oh, wait, I think it may have finally shown up. No, that's Reddit. That's Reddit, so that ain't going to help us any. All right. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Have I already looked at this one? Oh, no, that's a YouTube TV payment. Okay. All right. That explains that. Yeah, that's a YouTube TV payment where I share my account with a couple of people. And I still have 3 people that haven't made their payment yet. So if you live in... well, I can't do that, my friend, because Bob is the one that has you blocked, and I don't know how to unblock you. So he's acting like once we've settled your commitment, we can get that done, but he's not even available tonight. So enjoy watching the show. All right. Y'all can probably figure that one out. And hello to Princess Eunice, who's watching the show. Hi, Eunice. She's getting ready to go to school. And they needed help getting laundry done. Okay, let's see. Here's the message from, we'll say Malay. I'm probably pronouncing the name wrong. Rice is really a problem here without the dish. As long as there is rice, it is enough. I don't know where to make money to buy the rice. Can you help me? Well, we're trying, honey, but we don't have anybody else who's donated. And the way we get Adam Copeland's donation is that we need 5 other people to donate $20 or 10 other people to donate 10. Or if there's anybody out there that would like to do a little more, that would be great too. We have our first $20 donation of the night. So now we only need 80. Daniel Lemley has honored that $20 donation. And now we only need to raise $80 more to steal Adam Copeland's money. That comes from some show. I forgot what it was. There was some show about steal Ben Franklin's money. Ben Stein's money. Wasn't Ben Franklin. His money would probably be easy to steal if he had any. So thank you, Mr. Lemley. We greatly appreciate it. So we now just need to raise $80 in order to get a $100 donation from Adam Copeland. But the stipulations is that we need 4 more of you to do $20, or one good donation from Good Chris would probably get us very close. And but we haven't heard from Good Chris in a little bit. Hopefully he's doing okay. I know that he's from up in the frozen north area. And let's see here. So far we've only had Adam Copeland speak. It's 9:20. My God, we're 9 minutes away from shutting the show down. Because we've only had one person speak other than 2 of our Filipinos that need help. We're trying to raise enough money to reimburse the show for the mattress. We're trying to raise money to get Jeanette's family $60 worth of rice for about 9 people combined in the 2 families. And yeah, y'all have learned, well, if we don't say anything, he won't know we're here. Well, Bob knows, because Bob hits a little button and it shows him who's watching the show. But Bob's not here tonight. And if you care that little about helping people, I don't care to know who your name is anyway. So what do you do? What do you do? So yeah, we're 8 minutes away from shutting the show down and saving Adam some money there. So do. All right. Well, I'm just going to sit here like a knot on a log, see if anybody's got any questions. And now Daniel Lemley did not ask a wrestling question as of yet, but I'm sure he will. And so I'll just sit here like a knot on a log. I did watch the Senate hearings today. It is amazing to me what Republicans think good people are. All I know is that if any of you out there had been accused of as many sexual assaults, let's see. Well, I already know who that is. Let's see here. You went through all that trouble, Schmidt, to do that? All right. You don't know how close that comes to getting you blocked. Corey Graves, what you think of his possible departure? I don't know. I am not a big Corey Graves fan. I'm sure he feels very, very hurt that he's been, and some people will probably look at it, and that's a good wrestling question. That he so yeah, if they donate the 20, Adam, and being as no one else has got the guts to be here and say anything out of nearly 30 people watching, and they do that so they don't have to donate, so we know why they do it. And Daniel Lemley did donate, and he's not even in here, so go figure. Corey Graves in his head feels he's been demoted down to AAA baseball. He was in the major leagues. He was in the major leagues. Whatever show you consider the best one, be it SmackDown or Raw, and the past year or two, it is probably, hey Steven, how you doing? It has probably been SmackDown for at least a year, maybe a year and a half, maybe even 2 years. SmackDown has been the better show. But either way, Raw and SmackDown, A and B major leagues. And now Joe Tessitore, who was the voice of Monday Night Raw, along with Corey Graves. I think I have that correct. No, that's wait. I might have all my announcers mixed up. Was it Joe Tessitore and Wade Barrett, or was it Joe Tessitore and Corey Graves? Help me out there, Adam and or Schmidt. How you doing, Stephen Fowler? Stephen, we're trying to raise a total of $100 to get Adam Copeland to donate $100. Are you good to help us out with a little something tonight? Hopefully 20. Because if we can raise 60, I will stay longer than the next 4 minutes. And if we can raise 100, then I'll be here pretty much as long as y'all want me to be. By myself, no Bob Hazelwood tonight. He's enjoying Nerd Night. Coltrane, well, he's never here. So why would I explain for why Coltrane ain't here? But he does say that he's going to be back soon. And yeah, so now we have over 30 of you watching. And basically 3 of you have spoke. So what do you do? I don't know. I don't know. Well, actually, after the theme music played, I didn't get in here till about 5 minutes after the show started. So I guess we'll be here till 9:35 as it stands right now. Well, thank you very much. That's very sweet of you. Period. You're just the sweetest thing ever, and thank you very much. I just got a very nice compliment from a friend. I finally posted a new picture today after I took a shower and cleaned up a little bit today. Hadn't been much motivation to do a whole lot lately. Nope, still no other donations. Oh well. So Adam, well, that ain't gonna help. So yeah, I mean we'll post the donation, but that ain't gonna get us any closer. Thank you. I guess that was a $1 donation from Europe, I guess. Vanessa's watching the show. Thank you very much. Was Cole and Corey? Okay, well that's what I was thinking. Cole and Corey, and that's what I remembered was Cole and Corey. So I guess it was it Joe Tessitore and Wade Barrett, I guess. So Joe Tessitore and Wade Barrett are now doing SmackDown. And then good old lucky Michael Cole, who's very good in my opinion. There's a lot of people that are very critical of Michael. He overdoes it a little bit sometimes. So Daniel only donated 20 means Edge donated 20. Well, not yet, because Edge's donations are no, that's not how this is working. Edge is going to donate $100 if we get another $100 in donations. So no, his doesn't count. So no, we're still stuck at 20. So no, we're not even close. There's another. So Daniel Emily's the only person that's donated. Edge says he will match $100 in donations. So Edge hasn't done anything yet. Edge is waiting for 4 other people to do something. So, and if we raise 60, I will stay another 30 minutes, and hopefully then we can get to the 100. But it's a way to double your donations tonight. Let's see. I thought it was 20. No, that's not how he phrased it. He says, I will match all donations up to $100. And once we get to the 100, he will match that. I read it exactly as he wrote it to me. So that's what we're doing. So if we get 4 more donations of $20 or more, then we will have $200. And even that won't be enough to take care of everything we need to take care of tonight, but it will get us very, very close. And maybe between me and Bob, we can make up the difference, especially once I get people YouTube TV payments tomorrow. Use any extra that we get from that to help our families as well. But shout out to my friend Carrie. As a matter of fact, we are working on finally, after all these years, to getting my 501c3. She has found a much more inexpensive way to do that. And that will help some of the bigger companies that want to donate, because the Anthony Scaramucci's, the Mark Cubans, the Andrew Yangs, people like that would probably make much bigger donations. As a matter of fact, they've said as much if you were set up as a 501c3 to where they can count that off on their taxes. If they donate to an individual show or something like that, apparently it's much more difficult. But if you have a 501c3, and my friend Carrie is working with me to do that. So, all right. So now we officially have 5 more minutes. And very few people saying anything. Stephen Fowler. There we go. Now we're heading in the right direction. Stephen Fowler has donated $20. So now we're only $60 shy of making the $100 donation. And we're only $20 shy of me staying for another 30 minutes. And we got 4 minutes to get in that $20. Schmidt. I know you're rolling in the dough. So we're $20 shy of me staying for another 30 minutes. We got 4 minutes to do that. And then if we raise another $60 total, Edge Copeland is going to match that $100. And that will help us take care of the rice for Jeanette's family, the mattress. And we're also going to try to get Malahi, however you pronounce her name. I guess I'm going to have to audio call her and figure out how she pronounces her name. But no, I think Corey Graves feels he's been demoted to AAA San Antone, AA Chattanooga, whatever he feels, going down to NXT. But what he needs to realize, I doubt he took a pay cut. I'm sure he's getting paid the same. Now that I haven't been to work since the Saturday before the storm. Really? Have you been closed that long? Because everyone around here is open. That amazes me. Let's see here. WWE were closed for 4 days. WWE was closed for 4 days. I hadn't heard that. Hopefully we won't get any more snow. No, there's no signs of any more accumulation to speak of. But we are going down to 1 degree tonight in Louisville. We've had a couple of days slightly above freezing. Some of the snow here is melted. My area is still, not WWE. Okay. Okay. I don't know. Well, then I guess Schmidt might have as much money as we thought he had. I don't know if you only miss 4 days. I mean, because this shit's been on the ground here for a while. So we got 3 more minutes to raise $20. And if we get that, then I'll stay another half hour at least. And if not, then we're going to have to say good day, and we'll try it again on Friday. And I'll talk to Edge Copeland and see if he will let us rotate those donations tonight over to Thursday. But I'm not going to sit here all night for nothing. I got other shit I could be doing. And I have to work outside. Oh, my God. I don't envy that shit. I didn't know you worked outside, Adam. I had no idea. Well, I am very fortunate. I have never had to work outside a day in my life past my early teenage years when I used to do farm work to make extra money and hated that shit. So no, I don't know how y'all do it. So we're waiting on one more $20 donation. We got 2 minutes to get it. And if we do that, I'll stay another half hour and answer all your questions. To anybody with the guts to speak up, we'll do that. And if not, then we'll try it again on Friday. I guess after 10 o'clock, who all watched this week's Monday Night Raw? I don't think I've seen the whole thing yet. Well, Michigan Mike donated 25 the other day, but I don't know if Michigan Mike is around. John Paul has been going through some shit, so I don't know that he has. There's so Joseph Pesci. Well, it's open topics, as I stated in the description of the show, Mr. Pesci. And it's open topics, and we need $20 more for me to stay beyond another minute or two. We didn't see a single bit, fell asleep watching the NFL game. Well, I record all that shit, and I watch everything after it's been recorded. So I think I saw half of Raw and haven't bothered to watch the other half yet. And, of course, I watched all the NFL games. Last I heard, I was 6-0 in the NFL games, but I think I picked Minnesota to beat the Rams. And if I did, then I went 6-1 in the NFL and college playoffs. Bob, last I heard, was 3-3. I would find it hard to believe that he picked the Rams. So if that's the case, Bob, I'm hanging in there, Schmidt. I'm just waiting for that other $20 to come through from somebody somewhere. And so, hey, Pesci, I noticed Pesci doesn't have a badge, bless his heart. Well, we never see him over here, so why would he have one? But yeah, it's open topics. It's whatever y'all want to talk about. Adam Copeland is matching donations up to $100. But we have to raise 100 to get Adam to match his 100. And he's written me and said that he promises he will do the 100. And if we get there, I will show a screenshot of his donation. If not, so I'm going to watch it. Probably just, well, I don't know. I'll see it before the week's over. I mean, it's only Tuesday, so I'll see it before the week's over. But no, I think Corey Graves, to get back to your question again, I think Corey Graves' feelings are hurt that he's gone from the big time Monday Night Raw to NXT. And let's face it, NXT doesn't get the ratings the other ones get, especially what Raw should be getting now, because Raw does have that worldwide audience. But the ratings were nowhere near what Netflix thought they were going to be. They were saying tens, not 10, tens of millions of viewers worldwide live is what they were saying. Live views are where your ratings come from. What did you get live? Everybody can do decently on YouTube views and post views and all that shit. They got 2.6 million views live. When I was producing talent for WWE during the Attitude Era, we had rating, and I say we because a lot of my talent was up there getting it. We had numbers as high as 7 to 9 million a week watching Monday Night Raw. Another several million watching SmackDown. Another several million on the competition show, which was WCW. They were doing very good. They were getting 5 or 6 million people watching wrestling. So even the show that eventually became the number 2 show, WCW, was getting 5 or 6 million views a week. And now we're bragging about getting 1.8 million, 2.2 million. And in America, watching live on Monday Night Raw on Netflix, all the hype, all the promotion, 2.6 million. Let's face it, folks, compared to how shit used to be with pro wrestling, that ain't jack shit. You can't sugarcoat those numbers other than to say, hey, we got 400 more thousand, 500 more thousand than we've been getting, 700,000 if you want to stretch it to the weeks they don't crack 2 million viewers. And SmackDown lately has been the better show. I haven't heard a lot of the SmackDown and Raw ratings lately, but apparently they're really bragging about 2.6. And then globally, they got another 2.2 million viewers. So 2.6 million were watching in America. And then around the rest of the world, another 2.2 million to raise the global audience to 4.8 million. That ain't 10 million, and that ain't tens of millions. Now, throughout the week, they couldn't even brag about being the number 1 show of the week from last I heard. They were bragging about being the number 1 show that day. Well, I would hope so with all that hype. I would hope that that would, you think Cena's last run is going to bring them in? No, it's not enough. It's not enough. It's not going to bring in those numbers. I don't care if Cena wins the title, and he may or may not. It depends how loyal the company thinks they are to John Cena, that they would prefer to give him that title as opposed to, well, let's see if we got that, because I'm going to have to say goodbye if we didn't get that last donation. So let's see what we got. Chris Schmidt was telling me to hold on, but no one has told me that a donation has been made. Well, Chris Schmidt has saved your all's ass. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. So bad Chris, not to be confused or disassociated with good Chris, has donated $20 and has saved your all's ass. So I will be here till at least 10:05, thanks to him. That also gets us, let me do the math, make sure I got this right. 20, 40, 60. We're $40 away from getting, will you cry if Cena wins the belt and breaks it? No, I won't do that. I don't give. You see, I didn't cry when we won our own matches because I don't know if you've heard or not. It ain't real. Do I sound like Joe Biden when he starts whispering to the press? Like, because it makes you listen. We're going to bomb Iran, but don't tell anybody. Like it's a big secret. I never gave a shit. That's why you don't see any championship belts hanging around here. We won a lot of tag titles. A lot of my guys won the OVW title. I got guys who have won the World Heavyweight title. I got guys that I feuded with that have won the world heavyweight title. But you see no belts here. I don't remember what dates we won belts and titles and all that shit. I don't know what our record was. I know what my record was. I know that my amateur record was 212-0 and my high school career at Oldham County High, because those were real matches of me trying to win matches against other human beings. Those I remember because they were real and I gave a shit. But when a booker is telling me whether I can win or lose, I don't give a shit. Did you pay me? That's what I remember. I remember my biggest paydays. May not be real, but damn, it hurts. Well, yeah, I think Adam had mentioned to me that he had done a little training somewhere. And yeah. Imagine doing it for 32 years. Imagine being a manager who only has to take those bumps once a week, maybe a serious bump once every couple of 3 months, and it still fucking hurts. But imagine being a wrestler who take those bumps 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 nights a week for 20, 30, 40 years. Imagine that. And then that tells me, and this is no offense to you, Mr. Copeland, or anybody else out there, you have no fucking idea how bad it hurts when you do something like that for 32 years. And I don't have any idea how the Bobby Eatons felt. And he didn't do a lot of the stupid shit that a lot of today's wrestlers do. When I watch what even the women do, I was 64-8 amateur wrestling. I lost a match to the man who went to be Santino. Well, there you go. There you go. That ain't bad. And I will be honest with you. If in my prime I had to wrestle Santino Marella in his prime, I'm not saying for sure I would have lost, but if I was going to lose one, because he was a pretty tough guy. I was 6 foot, 212 pounds my senior year. I started wrestling at Oldham County High. I was probably 5'10", 175. And by graduation, I was almost 6'1" and 212. And even then, I was still far from the biggest guy on the wrestling team. I was a long way from it. But no, Santino Marella is a legit tough guy. And if anybody, and if 22-year-old Kenny Bolin versus 22-year-old Santino Marella, even though he's smaller than me and shorter than me, the old king might not have fared too well in that one. It would have took a lot of intestinal fortitude for me to have emerged victorious in that. I didn't have to wrestle anything like a Brock Lesnar, a Sylvester Turkey, people like that. Even though they just thought no, I won't care. I'll be happy for him to get the recognition. But I'll tell you where I did cry. Ghost, I'm glad you bring it up. Being as we're still trying to make $40 more, those guys, so we can get Adam Copeland's money. We need $40 more. I would ask Bob Hazelwood if he's watching from Nerd Night somewhere. Maybe he can. Let's not do that. Let's make it real people that watch the show. We got over 30 of you in here watching. I could kill Facebook, and that would kill a little of it. You know what? Out of curiosity, we're going to kill Facebook because they've been here way longer than we intended. So let me kill Facebook, and then we'll see how many YouTube viewers we got, which is a ridiculous low number. But what do you do? Goodbye, Facebook. Go to YouTube if you want to watch the show, and have a good day. There we go. All right. So now, we didn't lose. Save the changes. All right. Well, we didn't lose anybody. Holy shit. We gained a viewer. I got rid of Facebook and we gained it. So everybody watching right now is on YouTube. We did not lose a viewer. Kenny, you helped mode Cena. I figured was like your boy that helped bring to the dance. He's arguably. It's like I just told you. None of our shit was real. See, Jimmy, this is the closest thing to anything athletic Jimmy's ever done. Cornette, we're talking about. And the reason this shit's a big deal to Jimmy didn't wrestle in high school. Jimmy didn't play baseball, basketball, or football. I was in track. I was very good at all those things. Whether or not I could have competed on a top collegiate, like a U of L or a UK or, well, shit, let's keep it at U of L. Probably in football I could have. Probably in baseball I could have. As a matter of fact, I played for Trevecca Nazarene College in Nashville, Tennessee, but not legally. They just knew I was good. They knew I was never going to go to the university at age 27. So they just put me on the team for home games. And I was probably the best player on the team. So, yeah, I could have played collegiate baseball. I could have played, but I had to work. I didn't have the luxury of throwing 4 years away and whether I could have got a scholarship or not, I don't know. I don't know. I might have been able to earn one after my first year, but I did not have the luxury to try to earn a scholarship and pay for a year of college and not make any money. So I didn't have that luxury, but probably could have played some college baseball, college football. Track, I liked track, but didn't love it enough to compete at it on a collegiate level anyway, even if I had a scholarship. I was the fastest person in Oldham County. And a lot of people say, well, who gives a shit? The two that were the closest to me was a Mexican kid named Johnny Turner and a big farm boy named Randy Suter. Those were the two closest competitions that I had. None of our black athletes could outrun me. And as a matter of fact, some of them would say Kenny Bolin runs like a gazelle. Now, I know most of you look at the 64-year-old version or the 54-year-old version or even the 40-year-old version and say, how could that motherfucker run like that? I could run real good up to 330 pounds. We had a guy at Oldham County High. His name was Revel Dawson. I'll never forget him because he had the small legs, small butt, big gut, but he was a weightlifter. And that fucker could run. He couldn't beat me, but he was fast. And but you look at him, you wouldn't think he could finish a 50-yard dash. But what I competed in was the 600-yard dash, the 100, the 40, and all those. Anything over 600, I ran the mile once. I said, well, this is stupid. So I never ran the mile again. But no, I don't get too emotional. But where I did cry, and I really like the wrestler Penta, who just made his debut on Monday Night Raw. I did see that. And that was an excellent debut. I've seen Penta do better matches because I've seen a lot of Penta matches in my day. So I've seen better matches, but I like the production of it. I like the outfit that he wore. Would you? No. As I keep telling you, the shit's fake. It's like when people cry at the Oscars. I mean, this is the closest thing that would be like, but he's already had the belt 16 times or 15. So why do I give a shit about another one? They're just going to let him break Ric Flair's record. And I don't like the person that Ric Flair is. I do not like a womanizer. And I do not like people that, well, y'all know where my lines go on that. We have a president who's been convicted of some horrible things, not to mention the 34 felonies. The guy that was in the hearings today, Hegseth. I mean, how many times do you have to hear about a guy being accused of rape, sexual assault? Not supposed to say that word on YouTube. Well, we're a little late for that. And that's who they want to run the military. And it was proven over and over again. He didn't even know a lot of the stuff about the military. Plus, I never hear from Rico anymore. He's doing his own thing and wearing a cowboy hat, and he's got his Trump hat, and I guess that's why I don't hear from him so much anymore. Is he knows that I got no use for a convicted felon and a convicted adjudicated rapist and a sexual assaulter. I have no use for people like that. And for whatever reason, Rico likes him. I've tried not to let that come between me and Rico and to have differences on that. We obviously try not to talk about it, but I don't hear so much from him anymore. Would you be crying if Rico was in Cena's spot? I mean, he is. Yeah. Well, so we're still trying to raise that last $40. We got 15 minutes to do it to get Edge Copeland's money. Yeah, that ain't looking good. All right. Now we're still $40 shy from getting Edge's money. Good, Chris. Are you watching? I don't know who else to turn to. Because Michigan Mike donated $25 the other day. Jazzy Jana, I think, donated $20 the other day. And Robert Palmer is normally good for 20, but he won't see this show till tonight. So, well, we're working on it. Well, we got 15 minutes. Oh, Gord. My eyes have been giving me a lot of trouble the past day or two. Doing the best I can to deal with that. Like I've told y'all before, I've been approved for my surgery. I'm assuming early to mid February, if I had to guess. We shall see. So any other questions? Any other questions? Or I can just sit here and look at y'all for 15 minutes. I can do that. Yeah, none of the other two people that had made pledges have honored those yet. So we'll see when and if that ever happens. And let's see. But no, I'll be happy for Cena. But when I saw Penta's kids crying in the front row, it teared me up because that was such a big deal for his kids. And Penta really, for a long time, has apparently wanted to be a part of the WWE, and how they didn't have somebody that talented and that entertaining on the roster when you got so many people on that roster that are dead space, that when you go to the show, you don't give a fuck that he's there. And that is where I draw the line as to whether you're drawing any money or not. Do people at least give a shit that you're on the show? I knew when OVW did shows, if I wasn't there, people were disappointed because I was the mouthpiece of so much of the talent. So even though I wasn't wrestling, much like a Paul Heyman or a Jim Cornette, if you don't see them at the show, people were disappointed. Well, at OVW, I was the Paul Heyman or the Jim Cornette or the Bobby the Brain Heenan or whomever you want to put in that slot. And they're the ones that rile the crowd up. That was what my job was. And people would be disappointed if I wasn't there. People would be disappointed if John Cena wasn't on a show. Brock Lesnar wasn't on a show. World's Strongest Man, Mark Henry, The Big Show. On a WWE level, I know that Becky, not Becky, but Bayley. I have trouble, and I'm sure she's the sweetest, nicest person in the world, but that don't sell. As a rule, that does not sell tickets just because you're nice and sweet. She probably draws a little better than I think she does. But are people really disappointed if she's not on the show? And I meant to talk about this with somebody earlier today that wanted to talk wrestling with me, and we never got around to it, is that if you want to get the maximum out of the CM Punk, Seth Rollins stuff, because the match was disappointing. I saw the match, and to me, it was disappointing. I don't know why the reason for that was, but the match, and Dutch Mantel agreed with me on this. The interview setting up the match was way better than the match. My son agreed that, boy, they talked me into the building on this one. You know, sometimes you got to talk people into buying a ticket. Well, the promo made you want to buy a ticket, made you want to see this match. And then you saw the match, you go, well, it wasn't so much. And a lot of people agreed with that, is that the promo was way better than the match. And that happens sometimes. I've heard Lawler cut some hellacious promos, and then you get there and the match maybe just didn't quite lead up to what the promo was. But in my opinion, if you want to get the max, and of course, both of these people have to be willing to do it. If you want to get the maximum and make the people give a shit now that they've seen a match that wasn't all that fucking great. And let's face it, Punk is past his prime. And the other thing is perception. And I know Punk apparently is trying harder to get along with people and not be such a dick in the back and all that shit. And I've seen both versions. I've seen Punk be a great guy, and I've seen Punk be a fucking dick within 2 shows of each other. And then you hear how he acted on other shows. I hear he's trying to do better. Obviously, he is, because that's why Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre and various other people are working with him, trying to make y'all think they hate him. They don't. They've gotten over it. There might be some inner bitterness on both parts. And as Jerry Jarrett used to say, let your personal grievances and differences put asses in seats. It was a phrase very similar to that. Personal differences make great television. Something similar to that. He had it posted in the back. You got somebody here you don't like? Great. Settle your differences on television and make money with it. Lawler and Dundee were the kings of it. Because of the promos they've cut on each other, you think they fucking hated each other. Well, Lawler and Dundee both have told me, no, we basically got along pretty good. Fooled me, because I would have thought they fucking hated each other. People have thought me and Cornette hate each other. Well, it would be impossible when we were working, everybody, to hate each other and work that closely together and to put each other over when it was necessary. No, Jimmy couldn't whip me in a lifetime of lifetimes. But for the sake of television, I had to let him do that sometimes. And that's called working. And Jimmy took, that's why I guess why Jimmy liked to keep track of those. But no, I never gave a shit what our win-loss record was, all that shit, because someone's telling me when I can win and when I can lose. So it doesn't matter. If I'm in a movie and I've been in, I thought one, but apparently I've got way more credits for being in DVDs and shit than I thought I had. Who's your Super Bowl? Well, I'm rooting for Lamar Jackson, obviously, to get there. That's not going to be easy. My heart will be picking Baltimore. It is not going to be easy to go into Buffalo this time of year and get a win up there. I know that. But my heart said that Lamar was going to cover the 9-point spread last week. Bob Hazelwood did not think so. And Bob was wrong, and I was right. And I do want to point out, Bob's not here. I'll rub it in his face on the Friday show if Bob shows up and the Coal Train. But I will rub it in their face. Yeah, they got me during the regular season this year. I've owned this thing for 4 or 5 years. I stomped everybody's dicks in the ground, and it was easy. Coal Train and Bob could not keep up with me. I was bored this year. I just made stupid picks. I didn't give a shit. But goddamn, when playoff time hit, and if I have my numbers correctly, I think Bob was 3-4 in the playoffs, counting the 2 college picks. And if I did pick Minnesota, and I think I did, then I was either 6-1, and if I picked the Rams, I was 7-0. But I cannot imagine that I picked the Rams. So come playoff time, right here. Now, of course, I could blow my next 5 picks in the playoffs and just fuck it all up. But no, I will be, and Bob and I will do the picks. And if Coltrane shows up, he might be in on it too. I will be definitely picking Baltimore to beat Buffalo, even though I know up front that is not going to be easy. Might even be a foolish pick, but we'll see how it goes. And then I think we have the Commanders and Eagles. My heart would like to see Washington win that one, but my head says Philadelphia will figure out a way. And then we have Kansas City against who? Help me out, Ghost. Kansas City against who? Well, can't pick against Kansas City until they figure out a way to lose. Somebody pointed out on ESPN today, says that Kansas City could play some high school team in California and figure out a way to win it 13-12. They have been very good at that. I got a Pepsi sitting here, and I'm thirsty. We got 6 more minutes to raise that $40, guys. Now, that one really ain't looking good. Unless Good Chris is watching and tries to save the day, or maybe Michigan Mike some money. I don't know. Let's see here. Let's see. Nope. No, we're still $40 shy. Schmidt bought you all an extra half an hour, and the rest of you said, fuck it. All right. Anybody? We got the Kansas City. Well, once again, my heart would be with the Texans. I would love to see the Texans pull that off. But it's hard to go against Kansas City because those motherfuckers always figure out a way to win. Mahomes has not taken a serious snap since Christmas Eve or whenever the last time he played. So Mahomes has had plenty of time to rest that ankle. Will he be a little bit rusty? I don't know. But I think Kansas City will figure out a way to win it. So I will be picking Kansas City, but my heart will be with Texas. I'd love to see the Texans do it because I think Lamar Jackson would have an easier time with the Texans than Kansas City, even though they have beaten Kansas City before. And in the Super Bowl, I would love to see Lamar Jackson, I would love to see that. I think there's only four teams in the NFL that have never won a Super Bowl. I think the Texans are one of them, the Houston organization. I don't think they've ever won a Super Bowl. I don't think the Chargers have ever won one. I don't think. Minnesota, I don't think, has ever won a Super Bowl, have they? But I think there's only four or five teams. Jacksonville. I don't think Jacksonville's won one. Tampa Bay, I think, has. So there you go. So checking to see if we can get those last donations. TC from the NC's gotten us a little closer. TC from the NC's donated $10. So we're now up to $70 of Adam Copeland's money. So we only need $30 more. And we got, I'll give it 9 minutes. We got 9 more minutes to make $30. Just taking away the theme music. Trying to be as fair as I can. All right. All righty. Let's see what you love. Yes, I mentioned. Well, I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name correctly, sweetie. Malay. I get maybe it's Malali. Mellai. Malali. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it right. The Lions have it. Oh, it's Detroit. Okay. Maybe Minnesota. No, I don't think Minnesota has either. I don't know. Hey, Google, what NFL teams have not won a Super Bowl?
On the website,
you're right about Detroit.
Philadelphia.com, they say, how many NFL teams have never won the Super Bowl? There are 12 teams that have never hoisted the Lombardi Trophy.
Really?
The Bills, Browns, Chargers, Jaguars, Lions, Texans, Vikings, Arizona Cardinals, Atlanta Falcons, Carolina Panthers, Cincinnati Bengals, and Tennessee Titans.
Yeah, Cincinnati's been in a couple. Okay, maybe it was only 4 teams haven't been in the Super Bowl. But yeah, there's 12 teams that have never won the Super Bowl. Obviously, the Panthers would have an excuse. The Bengals have been in a couple of good ones. One against San Francisco, I think in 1980, where they had a shot to win it. Boy, the Lions and Baltimore would be that'd be a fun one. That would be a fun one. Texans and Lions have never been. Yeah, no, that would be obvious. Yeah. Jacksonville's never been. No. Been in the playoffs. But yeah, 12 teams have never won it. So apparently what I heard was the 4 teams that have never been. And that 12 of them have never won. I didn't realize it was 12. That's a lot of teams out of a 30-team league, but 12 of them never won it. So much for equality. So we're $30 shy to get Adam Copeland's money. And we got 7 minutes left. 7 minutes. We're $30 shy. Chris Schmidt did his fair share. And we thank TC from the NC for making it a little bit closer. And check PayPal here real quick. Sometimes I don't get notifications. All right. I'm still waiting on a $100 credit from Instacart. Yeah, I got a great deal on Instacart today. I've never used Instacart before, but they charged me $100 without my permission. I tried the 2-week trial. They said I would get an email with an option for different plans that they had, whether I wanted the monthly plan or the yearly plan. And they charged my money without telling me. So I called Instacart up today and lit them up, told them I wasn't happy about it and I wanted my goddamn refund. And they said, well, who are you going to be using for your food service provider? And because I told them I was disabled and that Instacart could have been a big help to me, but, fuck it. I said, I'll go back to Walmart. And they said, well, why are you picking Walmart over us? It was number one, they didn't take my money without asking. I said, and number two, I said, they have a thing for people that are senior citizens on Medicaid and or disability. You get their service for half price. I said, it's only $49. Oh, we can do that. I said, well, it doesn't mention it on your website. It doesn't say a word about it. Oh, yeah, you have to go a little deeper. You got to find it. I said, well, don't make it so hard to find. You might get more memberships. So then he looks a little further. They were both Filipino and then worked in California. I spoke to a girl named Cyril. Cyril was the first girl I spoke to, and then she had to send me to her supervisor, whose name was Vincent. And they were both Filipino, because the man came out, oh, thank you so much for what you do for the Philippines. I talked to Cyril. She told me that you do fundraising and help our people, and we're so appreciative. I said, oh, are you in the Philippines as well? And he said, well, no, not actually. He says, I'm in California. I said, what city? He said, San Francisco. I said, I was just hoping that you weren't involved in all those fires. No, we're way north of that. He said, well, we're both in California. And I said, well, man, I'm just glad you're here making good money. Because if you work in a call center over there, you make good money for the Philippines, but not the money that you make here. So I'm very happy for you. And he was so happy that I've dedicated 14 years to helping their people. He found some rarely honored deal to where he got me Instacart for $19 for the year, and said if I know anybody else that is a senior citizen or on Medicaid or food stamps or whatever, that they too can get a membership for $19 a year. And that's pretty damn cool. So matter of fact, I wrote Ghost today and just to see if he might be interested in something like that. And no, Jacksonville, I don't think they've been in a Super Bowl. They've been deep into playoffs, I think. And they thought that this current quarterback was going to get them there, but that has not worked out. From what I heard, they are not bringing McCarthy back at Dallas. Bob thought they would. I thought he was on thin ice, but I didn't know who else was out there they'd want to bring. I've heard that Pittsburgh might have had enough of their coach's act. That he's been to 6 straight playoff games and lost them all. And it's like the point I'm making now. Yeah, I lost the regular season competition to Bob, but the playoffs are what matter. And when you've lost 6 playoff games in a row in Pittsburgh, that's 6 years of playoffs. Maybe over 7, 8, 10 years, however long it's been. I proposed maybe McCarthy goes to Pittsburgh, and I can't think of the name of Pittsburgh's coach. I'm sure Edge or Ghost or somebody's got it. Trade coaches. Difference, because look what it did for the coach of Kansas City. He was the Eagles coach. They had enough of his act. He got them in the playoffs every year. Tomlin. And but look at the coach of Kansas City. He was Philadelphia's coach. He goes to Kansas City. They fucking can't stop that son of a bitch now. Change the scenery. Just worked out. And so maybe if Tomlin goes to Dallas, maybe if McCarthy goes to Pittsburgh, good change of scenery for both of them. Who knows? I do have some college basketball to watch tonight. I noticed that Louisville and Kentucky are playing, so please don't anybody ruin the scores for me. I'm going to watch those later today. This is about the only time of year I give a shit too much really about college basketball. I'm glad to see that Louisville's doing much better. They have been abysmal for about 3, maybe 4 years, but they are playing much better. I actually have a shot to make the tournament this year, which we would not have thought so in the beginning. Kentucky was doing very good there at first, and they've been struggling a bit lately. But they're playing Texas A&M tonight, so we'll see how that goes. 200 to 201. Edge, I'm going to smack the dog shit out of you, and I'm not a fan of dog shit. So there you go. So we got 1 more minute to make $30, folks. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes, because we're trying to get Edge's money, but we need $30. We've got 1 minute to get it, and it has not come in as of yet. It ain't looking good. Well, Edge. Damn, Mike McCarthy is reported going to the Bears. Well, what the Bears got right now ain't working. That ain't working. And Lemley's already donated his $20, by the way. So we have 1 minute to make $30. It is not looking good. Oh, boy. Well, here's where I have to make an appeal. Now, Edge, I've been saving this to I was going to see how big a tightwads of my audience was tonight. And there's about 25 of them decided they didn't want to donate anything tonight. So we appreciate that. All YouTubers, because Facebook we killed a little bit ago. Edge, the other night when you had made your original challenge and you fell asleep, we did take in, and we're probably going to get another $20 from Robert Palmer in the morning. He's in England and he donates about 20 on every show. So we're probably going to get his 20 in the morning. There's a chance we might get a little something from Good Chris in the morning because he doesn't always get to see the shows live. We're making an appeal to Good Chris. Plus, the night that you fell asleep and didn't get to watch the show, we did take in $60 in donations that night. So being as we took in 60 on the night that you fell asleep, and they did ask their wrestling questions, which I answered. And being, I think we got a good shot to pick up another $20 to $40 tomorrow. And if Good Chris is watching, whatever he might be able to do. Can I get you to make an exception and still honor your $100 donation for the people that are in need? The Jambies with the mattress situation. So we've already bought it. Spent money we didn't have to get it, but we got her the mattress. I've sent some of you the pictures. I think I even sent Edge the pictures, I think. And various others. Jeanette needing about $60 to get them 50 kilograms of rice, some eggs, some food for Scooby. They really need some help because hospital bills have just been eating them alive lately. And Adam has given the thumbs up that he will honor that, and under the assumption that we may take in another $30 or $40 before noon tomorrow. And like I said, Robert Palmer, if he's watching, he's normally good for 15 to 20. And then Good Chris, if things are going good for him, he normally makes a good donation every month, sometimes twice a month. And he's been a good supporter of the show, and we appreciate it. And we appreciate those of you that give a shit about others. And it's like a young lady told me last night. She says, I saw that you were trying to help these people. And she says, there's two things I can do. She says, I can give up going out to eat one night with my family. She says, we normally drop $60 to $80 when the four of us go out to eat. She says, I can give up one of those nights. And who gives a shit? We'll cook something at home and eat for a fraction of that. She said, I can give up a night. And she saw the Pangea account, not Pangea, but Sendwave. And she actually set up a Sendwave account for me that gave us an extra $40 to work with and let us help a couple of families last night, including Eunice's family, because Eunice's mother needed an allergy medicine to be able to keep her job. If those allergies, TC, followed you on Facebook, King, I got locked out of my X account. I am locked out of my X account on everything except my iPhone. Can't get back into it on my computer, not on my Google phone. No, it just notified. I will look for you on Facebook. I don't know how you got locked out of your X account, but it's happened to me. Because on my Google phone and on my computer, I cannot get back into that account. But so it happens. So I will look for you on Facebook, TC. I appreciate that. And some of you I have to communicate through messages through either Venmo or PayPal if messaging is available. Elon will definitely get rid of you after January. He could have got rid of me long before. He owns the goddamn thing. He basically got rid of me when he came on, when I was boisterous against his racist ass, the white South African. I got 12,000 followers. Well, it's down to 11,000 now. So 11,000 followers plus, and there's not 15 people on there that see my shit out of 11,000. Before he was there, I could make any fucking post. I made a post the other day where I tagged CM Punk. What did y'all think of the picture I showed of Punk? I'll get Bob to show that. I said CM Punk strangling a horse. I sent that to a lot of you. That is not CM Punk, but god damn does that guy look like CM Punk. It was on the Stephen Colbert Show. So listen to this. I tagged the Stephen Colbert Show, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, WWE. One share, one like. That was me. To make sure that it got a share and a like, I did it. because I sent it to Disco Inferno. I didn't even post it on my own account. I posted it on Disco Inferno's account, hoping somebody would see this and say, God damn it, guy looks like CM Punk. So a lot of you have seen it. A lot of you that are in here have seen it. Probably Lemley, probably Copeland, TC, I doubt seen it if he's locked out of X. But this guy strangling a horse looks a lot like CM Punk. So I tagged Punk in it. Of course, I didn't hear anything back. Didn't hear anything from Seth Rollins either, and he and I are supposedly friends. And a lot of them claim they don't see it, even though they're tagged in it. So 1 like, 1 share, that was me, out of 11,000 followers. Facebook's the same thing. I got 12,000 followers on Facebook. Now, supposedly 350, 400 people are seeing the shows, but I got some posts that get nothing. But somebody will post that their dog died and they get 1,000 likes. An anniversary, wishing somebody a happy birthday. And they got 1/10 of the fucking followers I got. So tell me I ain't being fucked with. 5,000 subscribers here on this channel almost. Goddamn lucky to get 30, 40 people to see the show live. And then lucky to get 200 or 300 to watch it through. So yeah, I get fucked with on a royal basis. So no, Elon could have got rid of me a long time ago. And the day they decide to get rid of me altogether, well, I'll basically say goodbye to about 12 people. So they'll have to find me. So let me check and see if Mr. Copeland honored his $100 challenge. Because no one else wanted to do anything. No, you type one, son of bitches. You're amazing. Thanks to all of y'all that did donate, though. Greatly appreciated. And let me see if Mr. Copeland made his donation. I got to check that out. He said he was. There's TC's. There's Chris Schmitz. There's Stephen Fowler's. There is Daniel Lemley's. I'm looking. And there it is. Well, I got to block out his real name. Or do I? No, it doesn't come up in here. So Mr. Copeland, there it is. Mr. Copeland matches the $100. Thank you, Mr. Copeland. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's the way Jim Neighbors would do it. Is that as clear as I can make that? So yeah, I think y'all can see that that's $100. It's a little blurry. Why is this goddamn blurry? So there you go, Mr. Copeland. So you know that is his real last name now, don't you? Not any way to fake that. So we really appreciate that. So I'm going to do my best right after the show. Just be patient and hang with me. All right, I'm letting Malali know that we're going to help her get some rice. And so now, thank you, Mr. Copeland. We appreciate that. Thank you for hanging in there late with us tonight. Thank you for matching the $100 of donations, even though 30 of it had to revolve over from the previous show. But we appreciate you doing that. Very nice of you. I'm going to let Edge ask one more wrestling question, being as he honored his deal, even though we technically were $30 shot. But I feel pretty confident before noon tomorrow we'll get that other $30 anyway from Robert Palmer. And maybe Good Chris was watching. And if Good Chris doesn't donate this week, I'm sure he will in the next week or two. Sadly, and I'm making a prediction, Pete Hegseth is going to get confirmed because the women that were supposed to stand up next to him did not. Joni Ernst was supposed to be the stiffest senator against him. She caved like a little bitch. And I'd say that about the men that caved like little bitches because they're worried that Trump is going to call them out, primary them, and they lose their cushy little jobs. Well, apparently she got scared too. And even though she was a military person who was sexually assaulted, and this man has got more fucking sexual assault charges against him, I think, than Trump. Well, no, that'd be a hard record to break. It was willed into donation. Oh, there you go. Man, go ahead and watch your basketball. I'm going to be all right. Yeah, well, I'll be doing that pretty soon too. Got to clear my eyes out and watch some basketball. But thank you, Mr. Copeland. We greatly appreciate you. Also, write my inbox and let me know what autographs that you're interested in. And one of these days, man, just meet me up at Two Rivers. Let's mention our sponsors here. God, I had that name thrown up there. Well, Adam, you got your name thrown up for about the whole fucking show because I forgot it was up there. That's what happens. And there's Ghost, get his name up there. That's what happens when I have no help, is that, shit goes south. So, yeah, I'm going to watch my basketball, clear my eyes out, finish my Pepsi, maybe make a little something for dinner, which I haven't had. My dogs haven't eaten yet. It is 10:21. They're mad because they normally eat at 6 o'clock. I did give them some dog biscuits before the show, though. So, and they got some earlier today. So they're not starving, but I'm sure they're ready for their dinner. So, but thank you all for tuning in for the rare solo show where I have no help at all, but I get some of those every now and then. None of you really apparently wanted to talk about Raw, and I only saw up to the Penta match. So whatever happened after Penta, I have not seen, but I'll see that probably tomorrow. And so we'll get back here Friday night, probably right around 10 o'clock. It'll be new. Oh, by the way, no one guessed. No one had an answer. It was noon in Moscow. Noon in Moscow. So whenever we do a 9 o'clock show, it's noon in Moscow. And we were thinking about playing Ivan Volkov, whoever it was that used to sing the Russian national anthem, but we thought we might get hit with a copyright strike. And plus, I didn't have anybody here to play it. So, but it was noon in Moscow. None of you had a guess. Shame on all of you. I didn't know either. And I'll tell you who got me the answer. It was Jason Coltrane. Jason knew that it was noon in Moscow when this show started. But we don't blow Putin over here. We don't blow Putin. So, but I bet you Trump knew what time it was in Moscow. I'll guarantee you that. So until Friday night at 10 o'clock, we'll have to find out where it's noon then. Maybe Jason will look that up for me. Until Friday night, 10 o'clock p.m. It will be noon somewhere, and we'll have to find out where. Can you remember when teams like U of L and Indiana? Oh, yeah. Oh, I remember when Kentucky would play Russia. I would wave my Russian flag that I had at home because I didn't hate them as bad then. There was no Putin at that time. But I would root for Russia against UK. That is, you want to talk about hating a fucking college basketball team in a city that I was born in? I was born in Lexington and just fucking hated Kentucky for the racism even when I was a teenager. Adolph Rupp referred to the Louisville Cardinals as the N-words. I will never play those N-words again when they beat him, I think, in 58 or 59 in the NCAA finals or semifinals or something like that. And Adolph Rupp was quoted saying to his team, I will never play those effing N-words again. So when I heard he did that, I had nothing to do with the Wildcats, Adolph Rump. They were going to change the name of the arena because people knew that he said that. But racist white people didn't want that to be done. So that's why it's still Rupp Arena to this day. Racist white people were cool with that. So no, I got no use for that motherfucker. Fuck him. And because of, and I also remember the first all-black team I ever saw play. Shockingly, the University of Florida Gators was the first all-black team I ever saw. And that was probably right around 1970, give or take 71 at the latest. And I remember they were pretty good, too. So there you go. So there's your racism for the night. So until Friday night, 10 p.m., we will find out where it's noon at. This is the Star Maker for the Noon Report. And thank you. We reached our goal with Mr. Copeland counting some donations from the previous show when Mr. Copeland was sleeping. And man, my hat's off to you. And I don't wear a hat, but if you're working out in this shit, it's going down to 1 degree tonight. So it might be noon, but it's cold. And I did say a good day.